In this video, we are going through the best strengthening and stretching exercises for different parts of the trapezius muscle. People will commonly get pain and tightness in the area, a lot of the time relying on stretching, which can definitely play its part, but a lot of the time muscles can get tighter because they're weaker and would actually benefit more from strengthening exercises. So we're going to go through both. If you do a lot of desk work, the exercises here will definitely be of benefit for you. Hi, my name is Rob from AMR Physio, and we are going to start with the more neglected area of the lower trap. Starting with the best stretching exercise you can do for this, you want to sit on the floor and put your hands behind your back and then relax your shoulders. So letting your shoulder blades travel upwards, and the side you're wanting to stretch, then allow that shoulder to travel forward and then put more weight down onto that side where you should feel the stretch in that lower trap. Play around with the position here until you find the position working best for you. There are a lot of compound exercises that will hit all three of these areas for strengthening, such as deadlifts. However, we're going to be talking about the more specific exercises for each one. For this lower trap, there are a couple of variations to work on, which can be cables, dumbbells, or body weight. On cables, you can do it sat on a bench, holding two individual cables and pulling them back into a wide position. Have your thumbs pointing backwards, put your shoulder into a nice position, then have a slight hold and return. You can also do this on a normal seated row machine using a rope. So set it up as normal, but this time pull the rope up again into that wide position with the thumbs pointing backwards. The main aim of this and action of the lower trap is to depress the shoulder blades. So really work on almost trying to pull the shoulder blade down to the opposite glute as you're contracting. To hit this with a dumbbell, you want to lay it on an incline bench and do the same movement with the same cues lifting the dumbbell up. I personally prefer using the cables though, as this can get resistance throughout the range rather than just at the top. A really nice way to do this is body weight, and that's in a downward dog position. So have the hands slightly further apart, and don't worry about the leg stretch here, just bend the knee. You then want to push the hands forward while keeping them set to add the resistance here, and actively working to feel that lower trap doing the job. There's also the classic of supine Ys you can do, laying on your front and bringing your arms up into that wide position, but I tend to find this not as useful as some of the others mentioned. Moving on to the mid trap, this is generally the most worked muscle here. I won't go through any of the strengthening exercises in great detail for this, because chances are if you're going to the gym and doing any back work, you'll be hitting this already. So basically it's any rowing exercise you want to do, you'll be hitting this. But in order to stretch it, there is a really nice one you can do with a band. Have it around chest high and loop your hand into it. Walk backwards to get the tension in the band, and then let your shoulder blade relax as it pulls you forward. Rotate slightly the opposite way and walk back more to increase the stretch, and then hold it. Another good stretch that can hit the mid and upper trap is relaxing the shoulder blades, letting them go forward, cross one hand over the other, reach forward and then pull the hands apart. Lift the hands up slightly and you should feel a nice stretch towards the upper trap. Moving on to the upper trap, there is another more classic stretch that you can do for this, and that involves holding the side of a chair or a bench. Make sure you're sitting up straight, relax the shoulder blade down, and side flex the neck to the opposite side to increase the stretch here. The best way to strengthen the upper traps is simply with shrugs. I find this best sat on a bench to do. Relax the shoulders as the weight pulls it down, and then lift it back up, hold, and then slowly lower back down. Other things like farmer's walks, just holding and walking with weight, will also get this nicely. In terms of how much to do for these, for the stretches, you want to be holding for around 30 seconds plus. If it feels worse after stretching, either do less time, or it might mean it is weak and you're better focusing on the strengthening exercises. For that, you want to be hitting failure around the 8 to 12 rep range at a 3-1-1-0 tempo. So that'll be hitting failure around the 40 to 60 second mark. The traps typically can get really neglected, especially the upper and lower ones. So start adding some of these exercises in. You might also be interested in just general neck and upper back strengthening, and in this video here, that is something that we go through. And it's also something that just gets really neglected, but some of the most important muscles that you want to be working on, especially with how sedentary modern society makes us and the positions we end up in.